Hello, this is Mrs. Boots, and I would like to tell you about the Canvas course that I programmed for my Project Lead the Way aerospace course. So on the main screen on the dashboard, students would click on the icon that would then take them to the home page for the course or the front page. And on the front page, I have organized this based on units. So each unit has an icon with a label, and there are 8 different units in this course. Now the header at the top and all of the buttons in the middle representing the units, the general information buttons and about me buttons, as well as the footer were all created in Canva, but you can use buttons here in Canvas and you don't have to do that. Again, each one of these represents a different unit in the Project Lead the Way course. So if I click on space, for example, that takes me to the unit on space. And for consistency, I use the same exact background header at the top and the same footer at the bottom. I also put a back to home page button at the bottom of each unit page so that students can more easily navigate. Within the unit, I have created tables, and each table corresponds to a module. And the reason I chose to do it this way is because some of the activities in my class are on paper, some are hands-on, some are simulations, some are assignments that they do or projects that they're doing with other software, and then you have assignments that they're doing actually in Canvas. So each one of these represents a different topic, and as you can see, some of them link out to ClassKick, for example. And when I click the ClassKick link, it's going to automatically take them to their ClassKick that now they need to go log in. And I should have done this before the video, but I didn't, so now you get to see the whole process. So once they go into ClassKick, they can then see all the assignments and they can see the electronic worksheet that has been pre-programmed in. This way I'm not reprogramming things over and over and over in each piece of software depending on the changes that are made every year. So we have our ClassKick worksheet here that was already programmed. I'm just continuing to use it. We have a Kahoot. We play the Kahoots in class, but if the students are extra nerdy and they decide they want to have some fun with their friends, they can go into the exact same Kahoot and play it later at a different time. The cool thing with the Kahoots is that they link directly to that specific Kahoot, so they're not accessing my account. They're accessing a public Kahoot game that I have created. Then I have links out to discussions. Now you can do discussions in Canvas, and the discussions in Canvas are very similar to the discussions in Blackboard, if you're familiar with that. I'm using that in grad school right now. And the discussions in which a person will post an image or some text, and then it saves off. And so when students go in, they see a list of all these different things posted by different people, and they have to click on each individual one to open it up and to actually read and see what's going on. I find that to be a little bit too cumbersome for a warm-up, and that's what I use my discussions for, is just to kind of kick off the class topic for the day or for that particular week. So I can put a question on the board that says, what does it take to be an astronaut? Go. Here's the link to the discussion, and now students are posting on this page that you see with this wonderful color background of the Aurora Borealis a picture and text on whatever they have found online, and I also have them put down a little link to their reference so that we are honoring citations in that manner. So I link out to Padlet for my discussions, and then I screen capture the discussion, and based on what all these students post on Padlet, we then go through and we say, well, how many people posted this, and what are the similarities and what are the differences? And now my students are participating and a little bit more engaged and rather just say, what do you think? And then they all sit there and stare at me. So each one of these tables is a topic, but each one of these tables also corresponds to a module. So if I click on, for example, the history of space at the top, it opens up the history of space module. And then within that module, we have the Project Lead the Way PowerPoint that was provided to me. I did not create this. And those are notes. So they can create, or I could create things based on this, But Project Lead the Way has created this, and you can link in if you have PowerPoint files, Word files, Excel files, any of those documents, or even PDFs of notes. You can upload those as files and put them in the modules, and so students can then go through and review that information. If they click the next button, it automatically goes to the next thing in the module. So here I've got a little Q&A assignment that they actually have to record the information on paper, and there's videos associated with it that we will look at in class. There's no rubric for this particular one. And then now we have another PowerPoint assignment. I'm going to go back to modules, maybe. There it goes. Okay, so that was an example there. So here I have general navigation. That is one of the other modules in the navigation unit. I wanted to show you this in particular. So you've seen the PowerPoints that you can load. And here, for this particular topic, I chose to take notes and provide them a PDF file sample notes, which would take care of the students who have English language learners or the accommodations where they need copies of the notes. So you can upload your own copies of the notes here. And so you've got the notes format or outline, and then you've got your copies of the notes. This is an assignment that was actually programmed into Canvas. It does start with a little video, and then I have a text description of directions and a sample example. This is what it should look like for this particular little project. And now there's a rubric for the project. So with the rubric, I can use this rubric for grading, which I have checked the box to do that. So when it brings it up, it'll bring it up on the right-hand side of the screen, and then the students, what they submitted on the left-hand side, and then I can just go through and click the boxes. What I want to draw your attention to is where it's got like the 30 to 0 points. So I am allowing 3 points per landmark. They have to have 10 landmarks. So if they only have 9, that's minus 3 points. I don't want to sit there and click 9 different boxes. So I put it in as a range from 0 to 30, and then I just type in 27. It does require me to do a little bit of math in my head, but I think I can handle subtracting 3 points. Okay, so there's an example of one type of assignment that you can do where they are submitting a format of their choosing, and you have a rubric embedded. There is another type of assignment. I'll put it down here. This is under a different topic. So in this assignment, I link out to a simulation. So you can put links into your files as well in the assignments, as well as files within a module. And by the way, this is a simulation of all of the things orbiting the planet Earth. So if you're having flashbacks from WALL-E, you know why. Okay, that is legitimate. It is not fictitious or made by Hollywood. In this particular assignment, I have a Word document that they are completing. So there's no need for a rubric. There's 10 questions. It's 10 points each. You either got it or you didn't get it. And so they are going through each one of these and answering it. The cool part about embedding this document into the assignment is that the Canvas automatically creates the copy on their OneDrive and uploads it for them. So they're not going through saving it off to their OneDrive and then resaving it back. And I thought that was really neat. There is a drawback in that if you do the embedded file right here, you cannot do a rubric. So you either do a rubric and it's open-ended as to what kind of file they submit, you don't have, or you put the file in there and they fill it out. Now I did find a way to work around that. I need to find one of them as I'm looking through here. There it is. Okay, so for their wind tunnel testing, for example, I have a template. There's something that I want it in a specific format. I want to make sure they fill out all the sections, but excuse me, I also wanted a rubric. So what I did was I created the template and put it in as a file, uploaded it as a file in Canvas. So they click this button and it opens up the template for them in Canvas that now they can download to their OneDrive, and then they complete all the different sections, putting in their data from the report. I'm going to close that. And now that I've got it as a separate template file that is linked in, again, not embedded, just linked, now I can do the rubric. So if you embed the file, you can't do a rubric. If you link the file, you can do a rubric, or you can just not have a linked or a template whatsoever and then go in and do your rubrics on top of it. I do have one quiz, so I wanted to show you that. Well, two quizzes, the beginning of one. So I started programming these in. The quizzes are a little bit more challenging. I actually prefer Edulastic for my quizzes. It gives me a little bit more flexibility with the types of, not the types of questions, but how you answer it. So in math, we sometimes have, like you can round it to one place after the decimal or two places after the decimal, and there's a little bit of flexibility there. With this system, you have to type in each and every possible answer, which I don't like. And in Edulastic, I can say as long as it's within 0.05 or within 0.1 of the answer, it's fine. So you can program multiple choice. I've got some putting the events in order. There's matching descriptions. There's fill in the blanks. There's multiple selections. I tend to do diagrams where I label the ABCD, and now they have to tell me what the ABCD is. There is one in here where they're sorting items into buckets. Here's a table where they have to complete the numbers in the table. And once you add a question to the test bank, the only way to edit it is to edit it in the test bank, and that way you can go in. Now, something really cool here I just want to draw your attention to. If I'm editing the question, go down to this bottom right-hand corner and drag it. That makes that wonderful box bigger, because I don't know about you, but it's really frustrating trying to program something when it's in a little itty-bitty box. So that's how I did the quizzes. So there's more than one way to organize your course. There's more than one way to do this. I chose to do a page for each unit, and then within each unit, do modules. And for the modules, have the different activities on the page for that unit, because there is a mix of hands-on and electronic or digital assignments. Either way works, and you could organize it either way. I use a lot of external simulations and discussions and other items, and this enables me to link to different tools that I'm using easier so that the students can complete all the tasks and all the different activities associated with a specific topic and not have to worry about flipping back and forth. There's one place where they can go and all the information is there, and it's on that unit's page. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you in designing your Canvas course. Bye.